Hello students and viewers. In this video we are starting the next chapter, that is gymnosperms, and according to the syllabus there are following aspects that we are going to cover in three different videos. So in this chapter we will be studying about introduction of gymnosperms, then general characteristics of gymnosperms, outline classification according to K.R. Sporn 1977, life cycle of cycas, which includes anatomy of root, stem and leaves, embryology, which includes structure of male gametophyte and female gametophyte, pollination and fertilization, and the last part is there, which includes economic importance of gymnosperms. So this chapter is totally divided into three different videos, and in first video we will be addressing these three important points. So let us start with today's presentation. So presently, gymnosperms are represented by about 69 to 70 genera and about 750 to 760 species. These plants form an evolutionary link or bridge between pteridophytes and angiosperms. As you know that evolution started from algae, then it moved to the bryophytes, then pteridophytes, then angiosperms, and at last there was evolution of an angiosperms. So it is actually the bridge in between pteridophytes and angiosperms. The gymnospermic plants have originated from pteridophytic ancestral stock, and in the course of time they have been given rise to angiosperms. Because of this, they share the characteristics of both groups, that is pteridophytes and angiosperms. Many botanists have described the gymnosperms as proangiosperms, and there is one evolutionary theory that is called as Nittle's origin theory of angiosperms, and this theory mostly shows the similar characteristics between gymnosperms and angiosperms. So now we will start studying general characteristics of gymnosperms. The gymnospermic plants are very slow growing plants. They grow very slow and they take a lot of time to grow its full height. They are sporophytes and perennial. Why they are called as a sporophytes? Because the dominant phase in their life cycle is spore, and this phase is long lasting. That's why they are called as a sporophytes. And they are perennial, means what? They perinate their organs for longer duration, and that's why they are called as perennials. They are mostly evergreen, dwarf or tall. It depends from species to species. Dwarf, which includes Cycas, Zamia, Podocarpus, these are dwarf plants, and the tall trees are also there, like Pinus, Sequoia, Christmas tree. So these are tall trees, and even few of the shrubs are also there, like Thuja, Cupressus. The tallest plant in the world, that is Sequoia sempervirens, that is called as a redwood tree. It is approximately 112 meters in height. It is belonging to order Coniferales, and generally the Coniferales or the plants belonging to this order Coniferales are uh, height-wise bigger with respect to other plant groups. Some species like Ephedra is scrambling shrub, while Nitum is a woody climber, or that is called as a liana. So all different types of habits can be seen, that woody climbers are there, some scrambling shrubs are there, some shrubs are there, some trees are also there. So various habit diversity can also be seen in gymnosperms. The cycadales look like palms. Cycas is ideal example of this. while coniferals have pyramidal appearance. So appearance of this coniferals is like a pyramid as they are growing in high altitude regions, and especially wherever there is a snowfall, to avoid that deposition of snow on the leaves, there is a appearance like cone. Here you will see the member of cycadal, that is cycas, and member of coniferals, that is pinus. Here you can see the cone shaped or conical appearance is there. Generally, the stem of the gymnosperm is aerial, stalked, columnar, branched or unbranched. It is woody, showing normal or abnormal secondary growth. Abnormal secondary growth is reported in Nitum. The stem in Zamia and Velvetia is underground. Shoot dimorphism is also reported in few of the gymnosperms, where shoots are long shoot and dwarf shoot type. This is present in Jingo and members of coniferals, where long shoot is vegetative while dwarf shoot is reproductive. The root system is taproot type, which grows very deep. In addition, there are some special type of roots present in some plants species like Cycas, which are known as coralloid roots, as these are appearing like that of a corals which are present in ocean. And on this word coral, these roots are named as coralloid roots. These roots are adventitious. Ad means close, ventitious means air. So those roots which are remaining in upper surface of or upper layer of soil are called as adventitious roots. They are apogeotropic, which means they are coming above the soil or they are remaining in the upper layer of soil instead of growing deep. They bear lenticels for exchange of gases, and they are mostly colonized or infected by blue-green algae. They perform the function of nitrogen fixation. In plants like pinus, the root shows association of mycorrhizal fungi, and such roots are called as a mycorrhizal roots. In this slide, you can see coralloid roots of Cycas. The stem shows presence of conjoint collateral open type of vascular bundles. The cortex, pith, and even secondary xylem shows presence of mucilage or resin canals within the tissue. Growth rings are distinct in stem. The xylem is endarch or mesarch. Secondary growth is normal due to intra and interfascicular cambium ring, but abnormal secondary growth is seen in stem of Nitum. The cambium behaves normally, or its origin may be abnormal, like cortical cambium can be formed in some of the gymnosperms. The xylem includes only tracheids, but vessels are absent. Similarly, the phloem is without companion cells. So vessels and companion cells are absent in all gymnosperms except the members of Nettles, where vessels and companion cells are present in Nettles, but these are absent in rest of the gymnosperms. The root is exarch, and it is either diarch, triarch, tetrarch or pentarch. Now this diarch means what? 2 plus 2 patches of xylem and phloem alternating with each other. Here 3 plus 3, and here 4 plus 4 tetra, 5 plus 5 penta. So each patch of xylem alternating with each patch of phloem, and up to pentarch condition, you will report the structure of root in gymnosperms, but in angiosperms, in monocotyledonous plants, it is polyarch condition. The leaves are with thick cuticle, multilayered hypodermis with sunken stomata. The leaf shows many xeromorphic characters. Transfusion tissue are present in species like Cycas for lateral conduction of food material as the side veins are absent. The vegetative methods of reproduction are limited, occurs only through bulbils as in case of Cycas. The plants are generally dioecious. Male and female cone bearing plants are separate, and sometimes monoecious where male and female cones are present on one and same plants. Ideal example of this is Pinus. Here we will see some embryological characteristics. The female gametophyte bears 2 to 5 or more archegonia, that is in cycadels, containing egg with neck canal cells and ventral canal cells. The archegonia not formed in the most advanced orders like Nettles. There is no double fertilization. Remember, this is very important point that gymnosperms are characterized by single fertilization. The endosperm develops before fertilization in gymnosperm. In angiosperm, it is developed after fertilization. And as the endosperm of gymnosperm is developed without fertilization and before fertilization, there is no involvement of gametes, so that it is haploid in nature. But on the other hand, in angiosperm, it is triploid in nature. So remember, this is very important embryological character of gymnospermic plants. The naked ovules form the seeds. These have hard, stony seed coat. So the seeds of gymnosperms are naked. Actually, the word gymnosperm itself has coined from two words. The first is gymnos, which means naked, and sperma means seed. So the seeds in case of gymnosperms are naked. Only seeds are there. They do not have fruit covering around them. That is the main thing behind the name gymnosperm. Gymnosperms typically have one integument that is called as a unitegmic. Seed germination is epigeal. Epi means above. So when seed is germinating, it is coming up like that of a dicotyledonous plants. The gymnospermic plants show distinct heteromorphic alternation of generations. And these are few of the examples of gymnosperms, which include Cycas, Pinus, Thuja, Taxus, Nitum, Ephedra, and Welwitschia. These are some of the representatives of gymnosperms. Now let us have a look over system of classification as per K.R. Sporn 1977. So K.R. Sporn classified division gymnosperms into three classes. First class is Cycadopsida, second class is Coniphoropsida, and third class is Nitopsida. Let us have a look over general characters of these three different classes. First class Cycadiopsida is seeds formed on leaves. All genera are fossilized. Most of the characters are similar to pteridophytic plants. Second class is there, that is Coniphoropsida, which includes tall trees with evergreen leaves, resin canals throughout the plant body, male and female cones distinct, ovuliferous scale and bract scales present in female cones. Pollen grains are winged. Now this wing is present around the pollen grain for wind pollination, or these are simply anemophilous pollen grains, and wood is pycnoxylic. The third class, that is Nitopsida, these are actually woody climbers or shrubs, leaves with reticulate venation. This is also an angiospermic characteristic. Most of the characters are similar to angiosperms. Male and female cones look like inflorescence. So this is also one of the angiospermic characters. Most of the systems of classification of gymnosperms are based on criteria proposed by Chamberlin and Arnold. So Chamberlin and Arnold, these two were the scientist who has given a lot of contribution in the field of gymnosperm studies and especially with respect to classification of gymnosperms. So their data is mostly used for different systems of classification. Here you can see few of the representatives. That this is a member of Cycadopsida. This is Cycas. This is Coniferopsida. This is Pinus cone-like, and this is Niton. Actually, I just wanted to show you that here stem is thicker. Here stem is thicker, and this height you can see that this is more than 30 to in between 30 to 40 feet. But if you see that this thickness of stem is like that of a pencil or a little finger, and this is a woody climber. So this is very important feature of this. Now we will study about habit. The cycas plant looks like a palm tree with a columnar aerial trunk, that you can see columnar trunk, and crown of pinnately compound leaves. So here you can see pinnately compound leaves. Generally the stem is unbranched. This is unbranched, but sometimes it exhibit branching. The branch is developed from the adventitious bud that is called as a bulbil. We will see the picture of bulbil in next few slides, which arises from the leaf base. Thus, the bulbil helps in vegetative propagation of the plant. Here you will see the bulbil, and here you will see branches. So due to bulbil, it might grow into individual branch also. So sometimes branching pattern can also be seen. The stem is covered by armor of alternating bands of large and small rhomboidal leaf bases that you can see here. Most of the leaf bases are there. These leaf bases are persistent, of which the larger bases belong to foliage leaves, while the small ones belonging to either scale leaves, that is especially in male plants, or sporophyll, that is in female plants. Cycas exhibits leaf dimorphism in possessing large green foliage leaves and small scale leaves or cataphyls. If you see, these are foliage leaves, and if you see the base of leaf, there are small scale-like structures which are actually protective in function, and these foliage leaves which are green and they are photosynthetic in function. The primary taproot system is replaced by number of strong branched adventitious roots arising from the stem. There are total 6 species in India of cycas, and these species include Cycas cercilaris, Cycas pectinata, Cycas bedomi, Cycas aramphai, Cycas revoluta, and Cycas siamensis. These are 6 species. Out of that, Cycas cercinalis and Cycas revoluta, these two are most common species that we can see in botanical gardens all over the India, grown as ornamental plants. Now we will see the next part in next video, where we will be studying about anatomy of leaf, stem and root of cycas. So let's meet in the next video. Thank you.